Good day, everyone. For today, we will be discussing the module number 4, which have a content for the lesson 1, which is the cybercrime. The lesson 2 would be for the cyber criminals. And the lesson 3 for the module 4 would be the intellectual property rights. So now let's proceed to discuss the first lesson, which tackles about the cyber crime. Lesson 1 would be the topic for the cyber crime. So at the end of the chapter, so the student is expected to, number one is we will be defining what is a cyber crime. Second, pangalawa, we need to identify the impact of the cyber crimes, and we need to understand the legal framework surrounding on the cybercrime. Okay, now let's talk about cybercrime. Based here, cybercrime is encompasses a very wide range. Napakalawak nito, no? Wide range of criminal activities that are carried out using digital devices and or networks. So, for example, considered cybercrime in the umbrella over the vast of range of illegal activities. Maraming klase kasi yan. Meron tayong tinatawag na hacking, phishing, yung mga yan, yung identity theft, including ransomware and some of the malware attacks. Among many others, this reach of cybercrime knows no physical boundaries. So that's why when we talk about this the cybercrime, it has been variously defined a crime. So this is a crime that is committed using computer and the network, especially the use of the internet connection. So yung mga cyber criminals na yan, they may exploit yung mga vulnerabilities ng mga computer system natin at yung mga network para makapag-gain ng unauthorized access. Manakaw nila yung mga sensitive information. Ma-disrupt din yung mga services, lalo na dyan sa mga bangko, including yung mga financial institution or some of the reputational harm to the individuals or organization that includes our government. No? Now, so based on the definition, marami yan. Nandito yung tinatawag nating mga hackers, identity thieves, mga phishers, scammers, and more. There are a lot of things that needed to be considered. Alam niyo ba, during the World Economic Forum on, I think that is around 2020, the Global Risk Report, napakatakas ng organized cybercrime groups na join forces para mag-commit ng criminal. Ito yung mga group or activists na tinatawag nating mga hacktivists. HACK, hacktivists, no? So wala silang ginawa kundi manggulo, and they want to surround the cybercrime with confidential information. Ini-intercept nila at dinidisclose nila yung mga very important information. Kaya during that time, it is one of the top 10 risks na pinipace natin sa buong mundo ngayon. Higit pa for the next 10 years. Sabi nga nila, in the nation of the state of the cybercrime, ito yung pinaka-kinakount na third largest economy in the world na naaapektuhan. Sa Amerika, 9 trillion ang cybercrime na pera ang nawawala. It damaged worldwide. So, when we talk about it, there are some notable incidents na kung maaalala natin. No? For example, yung Sony Pictures Entertainment. Nahack sila. Hindi lang in-expose yung mga sensitive company, but also yung mga data. Nagkaroon ng tinatawag na extortion at demands. So they marked one of the most publicized corporate na cyber attacks during that time. Sony Pictures Entertainment. Tapos napakarami pa mga notable during yung pinakasikat is yung around, I think that around yung 2017, yung lahat ng bansa, no, they lag a ransomware. Yung ransomware na to, tinatawag na WannaCry. Ano ba yung WannaCry na yan? Si WannaCry kasi, this is a type of ransomware that attacks, no, yung mga targeted computers na nagraran sa Microsoft Windows operating system. Ini-encrypt niya yung data, tapos nagde-demand to ng ransom payment doon sa mga maapektuhan. Exchange of currency, doon na uso yung tinatawag nating Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Okay, now, let's talk about the cybercrime law or Republic Act of 10175 or the Cyber Crime Prevention Act of 2012. So according to this, basically this is a law that prevent us for any attacks of these cyber issues. So dito nakalagay na various cyber crimes are defined and penalized. So when we are talking about the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, this is a Philippine law, batas sa atin ito, na dinidefine yung pag-penalize ng mga various offense na kinumit sa cyberspace. Such as yung mga hacking, yung mga yan, kanina yung binanggit natin, yung identity theft, mga online fraud, including the cyber sex and online defamation. So, dito, ang sakop kasi nito, kinocover niya yung broad range ng offenses Include yung mga related computer system ng mga data, unauthorized access, yung mga yan. Yung mga data interference. Tapos nakakapag-ano rin tayo, including sa cyber crime law, is yung pornography. Lalo na yung child pornography. Pati yung mga online defamation. Yung mga specific crimes na ina-address natin, mga identity theft, yung mga yan. Cyber stalking, and including yung mga online libel. Kaya dapat nag-iingat tayo kasi may mga penalties yan na pre-prescribe to, such as yung mga imprisonment, pati multa for various cybercrime offenses. Okay? So kung titingnan natin dito, there are things that we need to think about the cybercrime prevention. Si CICC kasi, it plays a crucial role in coordinating the efforts to prevent, investigate, and masuppress yung tinatawag nating cybercrime. So this is a law that which is enacted by our late president, the former president, Benigno Aquino. Okay? So, si Noy Noy. So, siya ang nagpa-ano nito regarding with the cybercrime law, Prevention Act. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about these cyber criminals. So here, on this chapter, you will be defining what are cyber criminals. Ano ba yung mga yan, Cyber criminals, then identify natin kung ano yung mga causes niyan. Then may mga exploration and preventive measures, how to combat them. Okay, from the definition here, it is defined an individual. So let's supposedly these are individuals or group. Pwede siyang group din kasi na gumagamit sila ng computer networks. Nakakapag-commit sila ng krimen dyan, such as yung mga pagnanakaw ng identity ng isang tao, mga data breaches or nangahack sila, mga malware distributions, ransomwares, yung mga yan, including yung data breach na pinapasok nila yung isang system na database, for example, sa mga bangko, yung mga yan, and yung tinatawag nating ransomware, yung kanina, So these are things that we need to consider. Kasi pati yung scamming kasama So those are the goals of the cyber criminals, not only to cause for a financial and reputational damage to the victims. Marami kasing klase nito May mga individuals kasi na cyber criminal na they are very organized, including yung mga tinatawag natin black hat hackers. Yung white hat, mga matitino pa yan Mga ethical hacker yan. But they will be hacking you in terms of a ethical procedures na mayroon talagang importanteng dapat gawin or makakatulong sa community. Pero yung mga black hats, mga black hackers, kung tawagin, black hat hackers, they are the individual with hacking skills na ang ginagawa nila is for malicious purposes. Primarily, financial gain. Ang tawag doon, crackers. Ang hackers kasi gusto nila is popularity. Ang crackers kasi, they want finance, pagkakakitaan. Meron din mga cyber criminal that includes yung mga organized criminal, mga grupo. So ito yung mga more on financial gain ang gusto nila. Tapos yung mga tinatawag nating nation state actor, napakarami din yan. Yung mga tipong isa siyang government or state-sponsored entities na nag-engage sa cyber espionage or the cyber crimes. Pati yung mga cyber terrorists, no? Nagkakaroon naman yung mga tinatawag na mga cyber attacks that for yung mga political disruption. Ang dami ngayon yan sa social media. Very, very huge yung groups ng mga cyber terrorists na nagpapakalat ng mga fake news. So there would be a political disruption, wrong information na nakukuha natin. So examples of cyber crimes ay marami. Hacking, identity theft, pagnanakaw ng mga identity ng tao, gagamitin for scamming and phishing, yung may mga tipong ibe-bait kayo, child exploitation, mga copyright infringement, trademark infringement, patent infringement, and including the cyber bullying. So dito, pag sinabing hacking, it's involved identification. So ang madaling salita, tawag dito cyber hacking. So ang tawag dito is yung unconventional or yung tinatawag nating illicit means to gain unauthorized access para sa mga digital device, computer system, or mga computer network. Marami to, ginagamit palagi ito ng mga cyber criminals para makapag-exploit sila ng security, pati mga vulnerabilities para ma-break nila yung network at manakaw nila to. So we call it the hacking. Then we have what we call the identity theft. Identity theft, ito yung tinatawag nating looking for a credit which is good to protect yourself from identity theft. That is a step to do. But when we're talking about this is when someone takes your name and personal information, like yung mga social security number, at ginagamit ito without our permission to do things like yung mag-open ng mga account, paggamit ng mga existing account, or including obtain medical services. Marami ngayon to yung mga nagpapanggap sa Facebook na sila, plus nagpapagcash sa inyo. Some of it are identity theft. Marami nang nabiktima nito. Can be considered as scammer also. Marami yan. Kasi ang dati, alam natin, scammer, yung may tumatawag lang at nagte-text eh. Yung mananalo ka ng ganito, and so on and so forth. When we're talking about scamming, scamming is not only on the cyberspace, but also, marami rin, sa totoong buhay. Pero dito kasi, when we're talking about scamming, this is act of prudently tricking someone into giving their money, the personal data or property para mag-gain natin yung trust at ma-exploit natin yung tinatawag nating credulity, naivety, or greed. Yung mga scammer na yan, gumagamit sila ng mga communication channel like yung mga telepono nila, email address nila, including text and social media. Marami na, lalo na pag matatanda. Mga lottery scams, romance scams, impersonation scam, ang dami yan. Lumawak siya masyado because of what we call the building of trust of the social media. Kasi ang scammer is nag-establish ng relationship with potential victim to, para mag-gain nila yung trust. So that's how it works. Tapos may mga false promises, mga financial or data transfer, ayun na, dun na na-scam. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na phishing. Sa phishing, kung nakikita nyo rito na para siyang nangingisda, ang phishing kasi is what we call a birding technique where yung person makes a fish or to attract birds in imitating alarm or scolding call. Yung nagkokos siya ng tinatawag nating cybercrime attackers. So, parang ibon ang pinapa-bait dito, tapos pag kumagat ka, yun na yun. So, this is a cybercrime. Kaya nga, this is a form of social engineering where yung criminals, trinatry tayong matrick as individual para ma-reveal yung mga sensitive information natin such as yung mga password, yung mga bank account details, lalo na pati mga credit card number. So yung attacker nagsesend to ng mga messages, email, text, and call. Tapos doon naman tayo magpapabake. I-click natin yan eh. Yung mga malicious link, tapos na-download natin yung malware. Wala na. Mapoprovide na natin yung personal data doon. Mananakaw na. Ibig sabihin, nabingwit sa pamamagitan nun dahil hindi tayo masyadong aware about this, no? So that is the goal, to steal yung mga personal information, identity natin, which is very delikado sa panahon. Now, let's talk about this, cyberbullying. When we talk about the cyberbullying, so this is the use of the digital technologies like yung mga phone, computer, gaming platform para maharas or ma-threaten, ma-humiliate or yung ma-target natin yung another person with harmful or false content. Na-occur to on social media through text, mga message, and email. That involves also yung mga action like yung mga pag-share ng mga private information, pati mga chismis, yung pagpo-post ng mga nakakahiyang pictures. Cyberbullying yan. So this is often repeated. It can be done by individual or groups and can be particularly hurtful. Masakit ito para sa kanila because some of it are anonymous. No? Maraming naging biktima niya. So this is called an harassment. So meaning, this is a sending mean and aggressive or threatening message. That is a cyberbullying. Some of it are tinatawag natin impersonation. No? They create ng fake accounts tapos someone else yung false information. It's be considered as cyberbullying. What happened when we do this? No? In social media, like yung mga Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, this is very popular. Maraming nabubuli, mga picture na napagtritripan. Sa messaging app naman, gano'n. Minsan, instant messaging services. Minsan sa group chat, doon nabubuli. That's why it can be harmful. It's considered as a crime. Next, we have what we call the child, we call it the child exploitation. So what is this? This is what we call a cybercrime when harm is done to minors. So, meron bang batas nito? Alam ko meron batas nito for during 2017. Dito nakasaad yung, this is a Republic Act eh. Nung nagkaroon nito, kasi naging talamak yung child pornography, yung mga online grooming and sex trafficking, bata ang ginagamit. So these activities violates the rights pati yung dignity ng children. Sa Pilipinas pa talamak. So there has been a law for this, no? Republic Act number 7610, I believe, no, in the Philippines. It is a fundamental law providing yung protection against the children abuse, exploitation, including discrimination. Yun nga lang, nagkaroon ng specific child exploitation law during 2017. Dito naman yung mga tinatawag natin criminal law for sexual offenses. So when we talk about this child exploitation, this is what we call the child defined as the umbrella. These are the crimes and activities that involve yung mga sexual abuse, yung mga yan, child including financial, personal opportunity for them. So this is a sexual abuse actually. Minsan mga grupo yan. Next, we have the copyright. Copyright infringement is what we call the unauthorized use. Ibig sabihin, walang approval. Yung paggamit mga creative works, mga libro, protected ng copyright such as yung mga libro, including yung music, mga software without permission from the copyright owner. Kaya nga sa YouTube, di ba, copyright ang tinitingnan ng mga music. Minsan ang ginagawa nila is blina-block, hindi nila pinapublish. Kasi the reproduction itself will be the copying of the work. May mga first offense yan. Republic Act, lalo na dun sa Pilipinas. Yung first offense, pagkakaalam ko is parang 1 to 3 years ang multa, tapos 50 to 150,000. Pero syempre, yung mga hindi natin masyadong napapansin. Bihira na lang kung malaking company yung ating na kuwaanan for this copyright. Trademark also is the same. But this is the usage of trademark identical or similar to the registered trademark. Unauthorized use then can consume the consumers as both trademarks or identical or similars. May kaso din yan. Patent infringement. So this is our crime where someone make use or sells of the distributed patented. Pag patent kasi is invention. For example, nakagawa ka ng isang devices, na patent mo ito. Ngayon, pag merong gumamit nito, gumaya without your authorization na parehas, it is a crime against it. In organization of the most at risk of cybercrime in 2021, repeats of 2024. Cybercrime distribution varies across the region, with Asia as experiencing the highest share at 26%. Kasi majority ng hack came from China. So it would be followed by Europe, North America, and the Middle East, and Africa. Bakit konti lang sa Africa and including Samopit? And Latin America at 14%, and not one, because Samopit having a problem with network or internet connection. Wala kasi silang digitization. Hindi pa sila ganun kagaya ng mga medyo innovated na bansa na hindi masyadong maaano ng mga cyber attacks. Okay, ito yung mga tips para maprotektahan natin against the cybercrime. So una, we need to practice the digital literacy. Dapat may alam tayo. Hindi tayo pwedeng walang alam in terms of what we call digitization, the literacy. Sa paggamit ng mga mobile devices, mga computers, dapat alam nyo kung paano ang tamang paggamit at pagsilop nito. Kailangan educated din tayo. We need to be aware of any forms of cybercrime. Dapat magiging stay informed tayo about the latest cyber threats na meron. Para alam natin. And then, lakihan natin yung security measures sa mga accounts, networks, and including devices. Huwag tayong gagamit ng mga password lang na madaling mahulaan. It's very crucial, lalo na sa lahat ng accounts mo, pare-parehas ang password mo. So that is not a robust security. It is what we call a vulnerable password na madaling matrack at mahack. We need to report suspicious or illegal activity to the authorities if meron kayong alam. And we do not trust anyone or anything on the internet quickly. Huwag tayo magtitiwala agad kung sino-sino yung mga yan. No? Do not interact with untrusted links. Yan, mga yan. Websites and applications. Yung iba, mahilig mapipindot kung san-san. So that is very crucial. Okay, now, let's talk about the lesson 3, which are the intellectual property rights. So at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to, number 1, we will be defining the intellectual property right. Second is to identify the types of intellectual property and explain the significance of intellectual property in the digital world. So let's talk about the intellectual property. Pag sinabing IP, it refers to what we call the intangible creations of the mind. Intangible, meaning hindi nahawakan kasi nasa utak siya. Ginawa natin to like yung mga artistic work, design, symbols, yung mga yan, no? Yung artistic works, design, and symbols that are legally protected by rights like yung patent, pwedeng copyright, at trademarks. Okay? So, yung mga rights na yan, nagkakaroon ng grants yung creator, yung mga gumawa, na exclusive para doon sa creation na yan for the specific period. Na ina-encourage at innovation ng creativity nito, na ina-allow, na ma-recognize tayo from itself, no? Para meron tayong financial benefits from this work. That is why we call it the intellectual property rights. Maraming klase yan, ha? May patent, may copyright, kanina, trademark, mga trade secrets din, including mga industrial design. In the Public Act number 8293, also known as the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines, this was been enacted on June 6, 1997. So nandito, kung titignan nyo, pag sa copyright, validity period niya, yung mga sound recording, 50 years from the recording took place. Broadcasting recording, 20 years. Mga trademark, valid for 10 years. Sure, inaano ba yan? Nire-renew? Yes. Patent also, it's valid for 20 years for filing the date of the application. Mga literary works during the lifetime of the author plus the 50 years after the death. Nagawa. na artworks and so on and so forth, including art, 25 years from the date of the creation. Photographic work, mga 50 years from the publication, including the audio visual works. So the law address yung mga categories na yan of intellectual property, such as yung mga copyrights, no? Trademarks, patents, including trade secrets. So the main types of intellectual property, let's start with the what we call copyright. Pag sinabing copyright, pinoprotect yung mga literary and artistic works natin, mga original works, including libro, music, yung mga yan, paintings, computer program, mga software, na yung author may exclusive rights doon para sa original work na yan. We call it the copyright. Then, trademarks. Pag sinabi naman trademarks, so ito yun, no? Mga symbol. So this is protecting yung mga symbol, pangalan, including mga image na ginagamit natin in terms of commerce, such as marketing, no? Yung mga brand, mga names, mga logo, slogans, yung mga yan. Prevent yung iba para magamit to confusing similarly with the mark. So we call it the trade marks. Patent naman, these are what we call a intellectual property right that protect yung mga invention. Binibigyan yung creator, yung gumawa ng exclusive right, no? Para pagkakitaan to from the invention for a set period. Yung trade secrets is very confidential to. Confidential na mga information na nag-provide ng competitive edge. Such as yung mga formula, mga customer days, they are protected by keeping them secret Open no non-disclosure agreement yan. For example, yung seasoning na ginagamit sa KFC, yung paggawa ng pagtimpla ng kanilang manok, yung kanilang Kentucky Fried Chicken, including Jollibee, pati yung paggawa ng mga gravy nga. Those that we call the trade secrets. In short, when we talk about the intellectual property rights, this about fostering and creativity of innovation. So it grants yung mga exclusive rights. Yung IP ni-ensure ng creators na re-recover natin for the investment, ma-earn natin yung return ng mga efforts at ma-motivate natin yung continuation ng innovation. Ganun din sa ekonomiya, malaking bagay ito pati sa public interest. So that's why it's very important for us to know this.